I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magab, it's time for the only news that matters. And Sebastian Bach is tired of hearing all the uninformed rumors regarding his ongoing break from his former band Skid Row. In 1996, when Bach and the group parted ways, following months of growing tension, the singer exploded at his bandmates after they turned down the chance to open for Kiss. Bach was dismissed shortly after. And though he expressed interest in getting back together with Skid Row in recent years, a reunion hasn't happened. That, of course, hasn't stopped fans from, spreading rumors of Bach's possible return, with plenty of misinformed rumors circulating online. During a conversation with Screamer magazine, the singer set the record straight regarding his continued separation from Skid Row. He said, "There's a whole narrative that we don't get along and they don't want to get in the same room as me. There's stuff that I have found out recently on the business side that I can tell the planet Earth. This has nothing to do with what happened in '96 or being wild or just not getting along. The only thing standing in the way is business. It's the business side of this. I can't give you all the details, but it's not about us not getting along. It's about us figuring out how to make it work on the business side. And hopefully we can figure it out. I'm ready to figure it out, but the whole narrative of, they don't like him and he's too crazy, and that's not even true. While fans continue to daydream over a possible Skid Row reunion with Bach, the band has continued with various vocalists over the years. Most recently, the band announced Lizzie Hale would be fronting the group for a series of shows, taking over for the departed Eric Grönwald. In a conversation with Screamer, Bach admitted he's seen press coverage of Hale's addition to Skid Row, and he wasn't happy about it. He said, "Maybe after 9 replacements of me, maybe I don't want to read about number 10. Maybe it bugs me. Does anybody think of that? How about me giving the best years of my life to make the band Skid Row, and then 10 people act like it's theirs? But it's not. So maybe I don't want to read about it. Everybody have fun with the best years of my life, but I'm still making rock and roll that can stand up to the best music I've ever made. So that's what I am concentrating on." And he went on to, he had Lizzie Hale, I think, on his Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. And he deleted her from there. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her because she's singing with Skid Row. Hey, I get it. His ego's too huge to get that. Now, as far as him saying it's the business side, it's not that they don't get along. Look, man, it's been so many years now. I remember back in the 90s, there's people I knew that we had falling outs and I did not like them at all back in the 90s. And now, I don't care I don't care. I wish them the best, but I want no connection with people that I've had falling outs with pretty much all my life, because there's a serious reason I have falling outs with people that I do not want to rekindle our friendship. I know many of you out there would, but I'm not that type of person. I have a feeling, Snake, Rachel, Scotty, they all don't want to deal with Sebastian Bach. Like, I know even when Skid Row was huge, at their biggest during Slave to the Grind, they had an interview with Sebastian Bach where he said that the band members of Skid Row are getting really pissed off and jealous over Sebastian Bach always getting all the attention. And it really came to a head when Sebastian Bach ended up on the front of Rolling Stone magazine. That really pissed them off. Ego stuff. Now, you combine that with, I said this before, Snake has said that he has mental issues, depression, what have you. If he has Sebastian Bach around him, it would set off his depression. It'll make it worse. It's health reasons, really. They don't want Sebastian Bach back. Yeah, they can make some good money for a little while, but how long would a Skid Row reunion, last where they're selling out places? Which I'm talking about, they're selling out maybe small theaters and clubs, bigger clubs. They're not. Sebastian Bach comes out to Skid Row. It's not going to be them headlining arenas. Trust me on that. They'll be headlining the same places they were playing with Eric Grönwald. Eric Grönwald, I saw them at the Pompano Beach Amphitheater. Nice, size amphitheater. It's not huge, but it's a nice size. Then I saw them at the Revolution, which is, pretty much a club, but it's a huge club with a second floor. That's where Sebastian Bach and Skid Row would be headlining if he comes back. It'll have more asses in the seat, of course, because most people want Sebastian Bach, so I know more people will go to see Skid Row with Sebastian Bach, but for a tour, really, or maybe two, the most, everybody will come out for that. And then it'll go back to, them being fourth on the bill on some hair metal festival here and there. It's not financially great to bring Sebastian Bach for the long run. For a little while, it'll be good, but obviously, these guys don't need the money. They are doing everything in their power not to bring Sebastian Bach back into the band. And for Sebastian Bach not to see that and think, it's a business issue. No. If it was a business issue, they would want to fix the business as well. You all would get, together and figure it out. But they don't want to because they don't want them there. And plus, Sebastian Bach coming back to Skid Row, his demands, I'm sure they're not going to want to meet. Like, he doesn't write most of those songs, but he's going to want a cut of it all. And, he's talked about that in the past. Well, I helped write Making a Mess off the first album. And then Rachel Bolan was on this awesome podcast called Decibel Geek. Check it out. And they talked to him about the first album. And he said the only thing Sebastian Bach brought to the song Making a Mess is the word Kalamazoo. That's it. So, for Sebastian to run around saying, hey, I helped write that song, and he just threw in a word, he's going to want some 18 in Life money that he had nothing to do with writing. Or, I Remember You, You've Gone Wild, what have you. He did not help write the big hits. And that's where the big money is, And I'm sure he's like, man, that's my voice. I am the star of Skid Row. And Snake and Rachel are getting the big checks. And I'm sure he wants back in Skid Row with some of that Rachel and Snake songwriting money. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure that's another reason they don't want to get back with him. And one more thing is his new music. So far, I've heard 3 songs. The first one, What Do I Got to Lose? I loved it. I thought it was great. The next one, Everybody Bleeds. Loved it. Thought it was great. Now he just released a new one called Hold On to Your Dream. Loved it. I am loving these new songs. So I'm excited for Sebastian Bach's next solo record, man. First 3 songs, to me, hit it out of the park. I love them all. Anyway, what do you all think, man? Do you think it's really just business that's keeping Sebastian out of Skid Row and that? They all love him, They just don't reach out to him. That makes no sense. And, what do you feel about the new Sebastian Bach songs? I love them, man. I think they're great. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And ring that little notification bell. I would appreciate that. and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.